Hello, my name is Rizal Azaruddin Firdaus and I'm from class 3E and I will fulfill my assignment about making the tutorial video of translation English to Indonesia by Mr. Andang. And I'll explain about the translation first. What about the translation? Translation is the process of converting written or spoken text from other language into another one, called by target language. And the purpose of the translation is to make the content accessible to speakers of another language while preserving the intent, style, and nuances of the original. Of course, in translation there are so many theories that used to translating the text, but I just choose several part of them, like literal translation, dynamic translation, communicative translation, and the last is idiomatic translation. And previously I'll explain about the text that I used to took the sentence to translating, and the first one is from the speech Martin Luther King Jr. titled "I Have a Dream." And the speech is about fight to end racial discriminations and segregations in the United States. And the second one, I took the sentence from the film titled The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. The story is about a journey to destroy the One Ring and prevent the return of the Dark Lord Sauron. Okay, and the third one, I took the sentence from the novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. The novel is about romantic journey of Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy amidst conflict influenced by societal prejudice and classes differences and misunderstanding. Okay, just try to the text. And previously, before we're going to translating the text or sentence, we have to understand the text firstly, or the source. We must to understand the source of the text firstly. Okay, and the first one, I get the text or sentence. I have a dream today, and translated to Indonesia with sound, saya memiliki sebuah mimpi hari ini. And the method that I used is literal translation, and the reason why I choose the literal translation is for simplicity of the structure. As a single independent clause, the sentence can be translated directly without alteration. For the authenticity of the message and from the universal context. And yeah, of course, I took the sentence from the speech of Martin Luther King Jr., as I said before, from his speech that titled "I Have a Dream" by Martin Luther King Jr. And this one is the simple sentence. And the second one, for a compound sentence, I took from the film The Lord of the Ring, and the sound is "The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places." The translation is, dunia ini memang penuh bahaya dan di dalamnya ada banyak tempat gelap. and I choose the literal translation also because of for the clarity of structure. The two independent clauses joined by "and" can be translated directly without needing structural adjustment. And words like peril or danger and dark places or shadow areas have universal significance, so nothing cultural adaptation is required. And the third one is the complex sentence that I took from the novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. In the original text was, if I could love a man who would make me happy, I would be the happiest woman in the world. And the translation, jika aku bisa mencintai seorang pria yang membuatku bahagia, aku akan menjadi wanita paling bahagia di dunia. And the method that I use for this translation is idiomatic translation, because I want to keep naturalness in the target language, and the conditional structure in English, like if I could and I would, is adapted to Indonesian conditional patterns to ensure fluency. And for the cultural context, the phrases like the happiest woman in the world are adapted idiomatically to wanita paling bahagia di dunia, making it resonate and more naturally in Indonesia. And the fourth, the text I took from speech Martin Luther King Jr. again. The text is, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope, and we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nations into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. And the translation is, kita akan mampu memahat dari gunung keputusasaan sebuah batu harapan, dan kita akan mampu mengubah perselisihan yang berisik di bangsa kita menjadi simfoni indah persaudaraan. And of course, the method that I use is communicative translation. And why do I choose this? Because of interpretation of metaphors. Phrases like mountain of despair and stone of hope require contextual interpretation to make them understandable in Indonesia. And for the cultural adaptation, communicative translation ensures that the metaphors convey the same emotional impact to Indonesian readers while maintaining the universal values of hope and unity. And the fifth one, from the Lord of the Rings again, the text was, even the smallest person can change the course of the future if they have the courage to try. And the translation is, bahkan orang terkecil pun dapat mengubah arah masa depan jika mereka memiliki keberanian untuk mencoba. And I use the dynamic translation for this. And the reason for core message preservation, dynamic translation keeps the core message intact while adjusting phrasing and structure of natural fluency in Indonesian. And for the inspirations of globally, phrases like the smallest person are adapted to orang terkecil pun, which is culturally appropriate and resonates with the target audience. And in the conclusion, I think from the text that I have to translate and method that I have been explained in this video, I think still much of mistake, and I had to try more and more about translating text from one to another, and maybe just enough for this video. And I hope you guys can understand and practice to translate a lot of text, and I hope so. Thank you very much for your attention, and goodbye.